In less than 24 hours, in Kogi State, 1,833,160 voters who have collected their permanent voters' cards are expected to vote in the off-cycle governorship election. As you all know, this is the first time in our history that these elections are held on the same day across 3 geopolitical zones of the country: North Central, Kogi, Southeast, Imo, and South-South, Bayelsa. As I said, in less than 24 hours, as we approach the election day, I wish to call on our official, both regular and ad hoc staff to demonstrate the highest level of patriotism and professionalism. As I said repeatedly, not least during my recent readiness assessment visit to the 3 states, INEC is not a political party, and we have no candidate in the election. Our responsibility is to safeguard the process and ensure a level playing field for all political parties and candidates. The choice of who becomes the governor of Kogi State in particular is entirely in the hands of Kogites. We have delivered all sensitive and non-sensitive materials for the elections. The bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, have been configured for deployment to polling units as the only means of voter accreditation and fingerprint or facial biometric authentication of voters. As I talk to you now, these devices and other materials needed for the elections tomorrow are being dispersed to the various wards and rack centers. All election duty officials have been trained. Arrangements have been made for land and maritime transportation to enable us commence voting on schedule. In spite of the extremely difficult terrain and physical infrastructure in some locations, we are determined to ensure that our officials are there waiting for voters rather than the voters waiting for our arrivals. For these off-cycle elections, the Commission is deploying 2 national commissioners, 9 supporting resident electoral commissioners, as well as additional staff from different states to each of the 3 states to support this process. They will be deployed across the senatorial zones in the state. And as I speak to you, we have so far seen the arrival of all the 9 supporting regs that were supposed to come to Kogi. They have all been posted out to the 3 senatorial zones and to the local governments where they have been paired. The 9 order, for all of those states that have come, they are expected to bring 9 more electoral officers with them. And we've all deployed them to the various local authorities. Election is a multi-stakeholders responsibility. As with every election, lessons have been learned from recent elections. We will continue to ensure free, fair, and credible and inclusive elections, but INEC cannot do it alone. We have received assurances from the security agencies that the environment will be secure for electoral activities and all participants, voters, electoral officials, and candidates have signed Accredited observers, the media, and polling coalition agents, political parties, and candidates have signed the peace accord under the auspices of the National Peace Committee. Let us maintain the peace and play our roles conscientiously. By doing so, we shall be doing that to consolidate our democracy in Nigeria. I am making a guarantee and giving a guarantee that, to the best of our ability, we are going to ensure that the election is free, fair, and credible, and verifiable. However, there are certain aspects of our work that having this free and fair election depends on other factors. I cannot provide security. I rely on the assurances provided by the security agencies. And as such, I'll go ahead and make my planning and preparations with the assurance provided to me by the security agencies. We also noted that there are certain periods or places in Kogi here where you do not have adequate coverage of network providers. But the Commission has provided us, because those three areas, like Mopa, Moro, Ibaji, and some parts of Ajokuta here, they have provided us some other gadgets that will enable us have uninterrupted networks to be able to transmit those results in those areas. And that is what we expect, that there should be no delay, either 5-6 hours before the results are put on. Yes, we expect if there is any delay at all in terms of the network for those things to be transmitted, it should not be more than 2 to 3 hours.